what I want to like start with is just going over a little bit of like these cards we did earlier. The thing that probably like jumps out to you is that there are 4 different colors here. And the 4 different colors of facilitator cards, green, blue, green, yellow, red, those are the like kind of 4 major categories of facilitator cards. And they're basically like the big things we have to do as facilitators with groups. So what I mean by like the big things is the blue cards are all emotion cards. So these are the cards that are great for like surfacing thoughts, reactions, and predispositions. So we did that earlier when we said like what makes a truly great session. I wanted your thoughts, the things that you already had in mind, right? And we surfaced that with a minute paper. The green cards, which you all just spent a bunch of time with, are the ideation cards, the brainstorming cards, right? And that is what they're best at. And they go from the like really simple, you know, like generate a list to like the much more ambitious, like 100 bad ideas. And of each color, there are 14 cards that are like a specific strategy, and then there's 1 blank card for you to add your own in case you're like, oh, why didn't you have this process? And you can add it into the deck yourself. The yellow cards are for distilling, getting to the bottom of something, kind of drilling down into the conversation. So earlier when we did fishbowl, that was us kind of like drilling down into what we can learn from that list. And then the red cards are really great for decision making, for planning, for strategizing. They're also great like little assessment tools. And so we did finger voting as kind of like this little quick assessment of like how we've been experiencing sessions so far this year, both from the participant and the facilitator side. So those are like the 4 colors of facilitator cards. And that to me, like it helps me know where to start to look when I'm looking for ideas. Like, okay, I really want this group to like start brainstorming ideas. I'm going to look at the green cards first. I need to like understand where my group is at and like the emotions they're bringing into this conversation. We're going to look at the blue cards first. So they're kind of like the top level categories of facilitator cards. There are 2 other things that you can see on the cards. So we've got the color, we've got the symbol that's redundant to the color. So if there's anybody who's like colorblind, not like obviously the cards are not accessible if you are entirely blind, but if you're colorblind, the symbols are redundant for that. But then there's 2 other things to notice on the cards. There's kind of like these circles and there's these symbols. So the circles on the left side of the card might be 1 circle, 2 circles. This is to indicate the group size of the activity. Okay, so that is individual, pair, small group, or full group. So this is a very simple thing, but it's something I find really powerful as a facilitator, is to just change up the group size of the activities that I'm doing. It's one of the main, like what I call like levers of facilitation, that when I change that, I change the energy, I change the dynamics of the room, and that can help me both get the energy up or calm it down, but also like kind of make different notes happen during the session. I can kind of hit different beats by going into different group sizes. So it's really handy to be able to like see that, because I can look at my like, you know, agenda from this morning and go, okay, we've got an individual activity, we've got a pair activity, we've got fishbowl, which is kind of like somewhere in between a small group and a full group, and we've got a full group activity. And so we're varying the group sizes. Cool, that will make for a much more like energizing session to like vary the group sizes. The other thing on the right side is the props. So this is just the materials you need to run the cards in person, essentially. So the list of props that Facilitator Cards has is kind of like simple, the usual like paper, pen, sticky notes, index cards, flip chart marker, tape, and then we got that jester hat, which is like the wild card for like a couple of like custom props. And a lot of the cards are no prop. They don't require any additional materials. They're just talking out loud in like different forms and ways. And what I love about having the props on the cards is I basically use it as like, this is my supply list. I can just look at the cards and be like, okay, I need paper and pen. I need sticky notes and markers. Okay, great. I got those. I'm ready to go. So there's so much to keep track of as a facilitator, and just being able to like look at that and see it is really helpful. It's also helpful for like changing up the energy, you know. Oh, we've been talking a lot, let's do some paper and pen stuff. Oh, you know what, we've actually been writing a lot, let's do some let's have people move around the room. I'm going to look for no prop activities where movement's involved. All of that is like kind of easy to see and sort on the cards.